Today's video is sponsored by Famous Faces and Funnies, located in Melbourne, Florida, as well as Docking Bay 94, located in Boca Raton, Florida, and Ian's Display Stands. Please check the link below. Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Codename New to GIJoe 2. Hi, I'm your presenter, Shabu Are You. Well, another Cobra Convergence has come and gone, and boy, it was amazing. It's amazing what everybody kind of came together and did during this crazy 2020. With that aside, I'm back to my normal videos, and I'm not leaving Cobra, okay? Using the beginning of the month, I highlight what I'm going to be featuring throughout the month in terms of comics. And we have a shitload of material to go over. My ass is going to be so busy. I'm just dreading that. Usually I just have one comic, and that's okay. And now with the Paul lore, I have two. But now there's a special issue that I'm going to talk about later that I'm going to be covering. Kind of like last month when I had to cover the Rob Liefeld, the regular GIJoe, and the Paul Lord GIJoe series. And for this episode, it just so happened, that I stumbled upon another great GIJoe Classifieds. It was totally by accident. I was on my way to the comic shop and I was like, maybe for shits and giggles, I'll head to the Target in Melbourne. And I went to there. And they're like, well, this figures, there are 6 of them over there. And just like all of you, there was a street date. And again, I used my old tricks that I know as far as kind of worming my way around it. And I was able to pick up the figure. And it's funny with this classified, it's kind of like we're working backwards. Some of us got the Cobra Trooper first. All right, so let's look at the levels. And then we got Destro, who came in next. And then, from last week, the Baroness. So, naturally, who's the next person? The head snake himself. We're going to take a quick look at Cobra Commander. And again, I am not known for doing toy reviews, so I'm going to do my best. Do it my own way, but I do recommend watching the other guys, like Hood Cobra Commander is going to feature this, some other guys, but hey, what the hell, more is better. So I'm going to kick this stuff off, and we're going to do an unboxing and take a look at the figure, as well as I'm going to pull out some iconic Cobra Commander figures that I think that are worth noting. And at the end, I'm going to go do my usual what comics I'll be featuring this month. So stick around. Alright, so here we have the head snake himself, Cobra Commander. And this is number 6 in wave number 2 of the Classified series. The box art is the original first wave, not the Cobra Island box art. And what I think is something to point out is, with the video game coming out, I believe next month, maybe it'll bring a little bit, this box art will carry a little bit more meaning as far as like what it implies in relevance to the game. So that's something to consider with this. But again, just looking at the box art, I think it's decent. Of course, you guys know from last week, I love the Baroness with that homage to Patrick Nagel. But this one is, each one is unique. And I know a lot of the other GIJoe YouTubers that are more better at toy reviews than I am pointed out. So each single one is unique to the character. And I think that's kind of cool. So let's go ahead and crack this puppy open. Alright, here we go. Again, we're using this Craftsman knife for this opening. Alright, there we go. I don't know. Every time I do these unboxings, I always like backwards to you guys. So there we go. All right. You know, the one thing right off the bat is I like the fact that his... Ooh, I love that cape. Ooh, wow, that's pretty cool. Alrighty. Alright, so here we have him standing on Ian's display stands. And you guys know Ian is a sponsor of this channel. And I've raved about these display stands. If you haven't, picking a set up yourself, please do. There's a link below. But I have used these on all my GIJoe classifieds, and they are superb. Now, right off the bat, and we're going to look at the accessories, you'll notice his iconic laser gun is different than all of like his version 1, version 2. It doesn't look like that. So that's a big disappointment. So I'm going to feature that right here. I mean, you know, I guess it kind of looks like one of those pirate of the Caribbean, like, you know, flint type of gun. So whatever, but I like how it's chrome, where you notice that in the other classified series, a lot of them, like Beachheads for one, is that Nerf, that green. And, you know, everyone has a black, and I know Baroness and Destro has gold. So it's kind of cool that they changed the color. His knife slash sword, again, just like the Baroness, it has that cobra head on the handle. I think that's excellent. I love the detail to that. And I like the sword itself. You know, it's kind of wicked. It has kind of like a pirate feel, you know, but at the same time, it's Cobra Commander. That's my initial reaction to this figure. He also comes with another set of hands, which is kind of unique in this 6-inch scale. Usually that's for more upscale figures like the Fison, or, you know, the 12-inch figures that have multiple sets of hands per figure. So it's kind of cool that they're incorporating that for, you know, different poses, for, you know, dioramas and displays. That is a wonderful touch to it. And there is going to be, supposedly there's a variant to this. There's going to be a lighter color blue, and of course there's going to be that Hasbro Pulse or Hascon, that chrome, that, I'm sorry, the gold one that is like right now impossible to find. So I know that's a big incentive for the Hascon weekend, is to pre-order that. And I sure as hell hope that they're able to handle the influx of orders that will be coming in. It's going to be a premiere on top of a premiere figure. So you're going to expect to pay, you know, as much as people paid for the Snake Eyes Deluxe. So it's probably going to be double than the normal classified series. So, you know, with that aside, I wanted to bring out some iconic Cobra Commanders from the past. Of course, the 82, 83, I have the swivel arm. I don't have the straight arm. I thought I did, but I don't have it. But this is the 1983 swivel arm Cobra Commander. So version 1.5. Now, with my hooded Cobra Commander, I don't know if I could point that out. His chrome on his, you know, face kind of was all rubbed off. So if you've seen another video where I talked about adding a little bit of paint color onto the GIJoe classified knives, like I did, if you could see the Cobra Trooper in the back, like, you know, his little knife here, just to add a splash of color. And I did that to Scarlet and Snake Eyes straight edge weapons as well. I applied that same type on his faceplate. And, you know, this is my figure, so I'm never going to sell it, whatever. I don't give a monkey's uncle if it decreases or in value, whatever. I needed to do that for mine, and I'm glad I did. And of course, the version 2, the hooded Cobra Commander, the mail away. It's funny how long, that's the beauty of this figure, is how long that it was offered in the Hasbro Direct plan. I think that is a testament. And how many mail away figures are readily available? This is probably the one and only that lasted such a long time, and is just an icon. And again, like, I'm putting these two next to each other because you could see that's where they got this figure from. It's a kind of a combo of the two. And of course, the third, well, version number 4, I would say, and I talked about this, I think, during Cobra Convergence last year. This is what I believe, the most underrated Cobra Commander figure out of the entire line, because people just skip and forget about it. But if you read the Marvel comics, towards the end of the run, Cobra Commander's uniform was getting darker and darker, almost black. And I think this is, the gem of the hooded Cobra Commanders, is this version right here. I love the shit out of this figure because, I didn't like the third one, the talking one it's the same thing except it was in blue and yellow. I thought that was shit. But the fact that the color apps on this is silver and black, kind of like the Raiders, it gives it that menacing look. And another below the radar Cobra Commander version, and I talked about this in a very, very early episode of my channel, is the Dollar General Cobra Commander. Again, it's more in line with the end of the Marvel run and version 4. I think like this Cobra Commander is the shit. And of course, the 25th anniversary line, when they made this, it's just the blue one. But the fact that it's in black, and again, the silver apps, I love this figure. And out of the Dollar General figures, like, this is the one to get. And a lot of people like bypass this. I don't know why the hell they do. This is, if I was, the fact that those Dollar Generals are becoming more difficult to find because they were out in those stores, and then for some reason Hasbro quickly yanked them and recalled them back because they didn't want a premium brand to be associated with the dollar store. So they were like, they second guessed themselves. So that's why I love this figure. It's fantastic. All right, so the last one I wanted to bring up is the 25th anniversary line, the, I guess, homage to the version 1 Cobra Commander. And again, you see his iconic laser pistol right there. And again, this is a great update, modern update of this iconic classic first one. So just, this is well done. In the last episode, I mentioned how the Baroness 25th anniversary figure was a disappointment. Well, somewhat of a disappointment. If you're a comic fan, you know that it's paying homage to issue number 1. This one is wonderfully done by Hasbro, and I'm so glad to have it. Of course, I left mine in the card back and have it on display, but again, that's the big thing, is that his laser pistol is not incorporated in this classifieds, and that's somewhat of a disappointment. But at the same time, with this classified series, you have to accept this new thing. And I've been saying it on social media. When this wave was announced, I was dead set against it because of the connection to Star Wars Black Series and how that series is basically 90% crap and 10% good, and then Marvel Legends. But I'm telling you, Hasbro has brought out their A game, and you could tell they're putting efforts into this classified run because Star Wars has yielded losses. I mean, they bet on the wrong horse with Star Wars. So at least with Hasbro, they know they could control this entity. Like, they know they don't have to go to Disney, they don't have to go to Lucasfilm and get approval before they have total control. So that's why, they're jumping off that horse and jumping back on the GI Joe horse, which is a smart move for them. But let's go put on his accessories, and then we'll wrap up this segment and jump to what I'm really known for. So here we have Cobra Commander with his accessories. I have the sword placed in its holster, and again, just the very soft plastic on the sides to hold everything. It's just wonderfully done. And the more and more you get familiar with this line, the more and more impressed you have to be. And I'm one of those people that are eating my words. Like I said, I wasn't excited, but I am completely sold on this line. It's a wonderfully done line, and it blows the door off of Black Series and Marvel Legends. Phenomenal. All right, so that's Cobra Commander. And again, like I said, there's going to be a variant of this one in the lighter blue, and of course the Hasbro Pulse Con, that gold figure. So those are the two other variants that will come. I don't know if they're going to make a hooded one. That remains to be seen. I assume that they will, because as much as he's known for this helmet, he's also known for his hooded. Otherwise, what is HCC 788 is going to, that's his namesake, for goodness sake. So I hope they release that version of Cobra Commander. All right, so now let's jump forward to what we're going to look forward to for this month in terms of comics. Oh, I'd be remiss if I didn't show Cobra Commander with the entire gang. It's funny, when this line started, it's only that many Cobra figures, but now, the numbers are equaling between G.I. Joe and Cobras, so that's good to see. But, Destro was the only one in the first wave, and then, we had two with the Target Cobra Island, Baroness and the Cobra Trooper. So the numbers are increasing for Cobra, and that's good. It remains to be seen if the Wave 3, the the Storm Shadow that's offered, is that going to be a Cobra or G.I. Joe? Because Amazon is, obviously, the Amazon Storm Shadow Arctic one should be a G.I. Joe. So I know when I get that, he's going to go on the Joe side. So here is Team Cobra in all of its glory. All right, so with that out of the way, let's return to the heart of the matter and what I'm known in the community for. Again, I always encourage everybody to watch ACC 788, Forum BX257, Half the Battle, as well as all the other guys that have participated in Cobra Convergence 5 that are more known for doing toy reviews. I'm just doing this as a bonus. So, for this month in G.I. Joe, we have an action-packed month. And I'm talking, my ass is going to be busy. When I first started this, I just had that one issue to cover, and I could, take my time and do it and add some sound effects, make it feel like a G.I. Joe cartoon. But now it's I have three G.I. Joe comics I'm going to have to cover this month again. And that's great for you and great for me to read, but that sucks in the editing process. So let's start off with issue 273. And if you guys have been following, this is going to be part 8 of the 10 issue story arc called Snake Hunt. And you guys have to be following me to understand what I'm talking about. But we're at the point now where all the parties are converging onto Springfield in an effort to rescue Snake Eyes, Sean Collins, not the original Snake Eyes. But at the same time, Cobra Commander, Dr. Mindbender, and all of Cobra, and even a lot of the party members, except for G.I. Joe and the Arashikage clan, think that that's the original Snake Eyes. So, will this secret be revealed? Or will he be succumb to the Braveway scanner? We still don't know. And also, the wild card in this series is Revenge. You know, they had successfully taken over Mars, even though Destro and the Baroness have escaped the clutches. But you know, the Iron Grenadiers are still under Revenge control. I mean, there's a lot of parts moving in this storyline. And credit Larry Hama for doing such an excellent job. I know that people talk about, you know, the Dr. Venom and the Cobra Island. And of course, those are iconic stories. But he's been kicking ass in this rendition of A Real American Hero with The Death of Snake Eyes, Dawn of the Arashikage, the Cobra Wars, and now with this 10-issue story arc is freaking nuts. Because you guys got to think of it from a writing standpoint. You have to have the entire story down and know how it's going to end by the time you start with issue number 1. So for him to do this, it's a master class in writing. That's all I'm going to say. All right, so we're going to cover that. And I have the 2 covers, so like I do in every episode, we'll highlight the variants. Now, the other one, and I talked about it in Cobra Convergence, if you guys have been following me, I am high on Paul Allure's GIJoe storyline. You know, we all, you know, it's people, and when the issue first came out, people tried it, and then they got off the bandwagon after issue number 1. I myself was like, oh, after the first issue. But again, credit Paul. I mean, again, another master class in storytelling. You know, you introduce characters. And I said it and if you guys have been following, you guys know, I said by issue 3, we'll have a good idea of how good this series is. And damn it, by issue 3, I was hook, line, and sinker. This has been the gem of the year. And sales, the first print is sold out. So word is getting out. And if you've missed anything, I have all the other issues so you could catch up. And even if you do have it, please follow along. I love to hear other people's take on this great story. Now, the other gem, surprise, is not the issue number 2 of Rob Liefeld's Snake Eyes series. IDW has released Snake Eyes Origin. So, which is a recap, I guess, you know, of issue, 20, not only 21, but, you know, 22 and 26 of the Marvel run. So that's been reprinted in this. So it goes with the reprint of issue number 21 that I featured last month. So this is a continuation of that and a completion from the Marvel run. I will touch base on this, but everybody knows this story, but damn, it's good to see it reprinted on this nice paper. You know, even though I love the newspaper of the old 80s and 90s, nothing beats that smell. But it's also cool to have it printed in this nice high gloss, very professional done print. So we're going to take a look at that. Now, for non-G.I. Joe related, I've been really interested in, believe it or not, Batman. I've been following Batman since, if you watch some of my other videos, I talked about the new character, Punchline. You know, they were hyping this up, and I was like, you know, to be a replacement, because Harley Quinn is too popular now. So the Joker had to find a new, I guess, right-hand woman. And she's not a love interest of the Joker. And at the same time, this whole Joker war is turning out where Joker actually hacks into Wayne Enterprises, steal all of Bruce Wayne's money to the point that Batman / Bruce Wayne is broke. So all of the assets that he has to fuel Batman are completely... So the Joker has become a zillionaire all of a sudden. And Batman has to kind of, you know, climb from ground zero And, you know, he doesn't have all of his, he doesn't have access to the Batcave, whatever, because Punchline and Joker have taken complete control of everything. So this is issue number 2 of the Joker Wars. And I haven't been into Batman in a while, since the 90s and stuff, but this is damn good. So I've been reading that. And also Thor. And this is done, I guess Donny Cates is the new Jim Lee, Seth MacFarlane. He is this era's golden boy. I'm getting late on it. I'm an old guy, so all these kids and stuff, oh, you gotta read this, you gotta read this. And I've been blowing it off because all these kids like this SJW nonsense of, like, you know, politically correct, gender neutral, all this other bull crap. And, you know, I'm all for that, but at the same time, comics should be an escape. And I've kind of had issues with the whole SJW movement. But man, this is, so again, I've eaten my words, and I highly recommend Thor. So Thor by Donny Cates is definitely a must pick up. So I'll quickly look at that. And of course, you know, I love me a Vampirella, Elvira, and, you know, any sexy hot woman. So I'm continuing with my Vengeance of Vampirella, and that's another one I'll be looking at. Well, anyway, that's what's going on for this coming month in Codename New to Vero 2. I hope you hit the subscribe button and join us on this adventure. Again, I love hearing other people's comments, feedback, and I like incorporating everybody along on this journey. The most important thing when I started this several years ago is because GIJoe was nowhere to be found in comic shops. It was like, you know, so difficult to find GIJoe. I'm lucky that my sponsors, Famous Faces and Funnies in Melbourne, Florida, and Docking Bay 94 down in Boca Raton, have stocked GIJoe comics in their respective shops. And I hope you guys encourage your local shops to carry GIJoe, because, you know, it's good. You know, this whole revival of GIJoe is so meaningful to you guys, to us, because for a while there was nothing out there. So to see this whole, you know, legend come back to life is kind of, you know, you're proud of it, because we all are a part of it. So let's keep that momentum going. And, you know, I know, like, you know, with the Star Wars fan base, and, you know, we are all came from the Star Wars fan base. But, you know, some of us are still in the Star Wars fan base. But, you know, with the whole, how that all unfolded, how the community is so toxic at times, I'm liking how our community stays together, supports one another, and we're on this journey together. And it's all about bringing people together, because that's, remember, that is the core of the GIJoe team. That people from all backgrounds, all walks of life, coming together collectively for the greater good. And that's what this community is all about. Once again, this is GIJoe for another exciting episode of Codename New to Vero 2. Have a good day.